Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? We just had UFC Fight Night, Brandon Royval versus Taira wrap up today, October the 12th. We're going to be breaking down the entire card, starting with the prelims, ending with the main card. Let's just get right into it. Just ended literally like 3 minutes ago. Let's get into the first prelim fight of Clayton Carpenter versus Lucas Rosia. Already messed up the first name. Let's go. I had Lucas Rosia going into this fight, and unfortunately, like I said, inside the first round, Clayton Carpenter just had the most advantageous position on the ground. Lucas lost the first round clear, and I thought he was going to get to the second round where he was going to start working his boxing and not get taken down. Unfortunately, he literally got his back taken again within a minute and 30 seconds. Clayton Carpenter secured the rear naked choke and submitted Lucas Rosia because he did not tap. It was then called a technical submission. I guess if they don't tap, it's a tech. It doesn't. Whatever. He didn't tap. He went out cold. Clayton Carpenter moves on to 8-0 inside the UFC. Looks very, very impressive. I really thought Lucas Rosia was going to be able to put on the pace, man. I thought Clayton Carpenter looked a little shitty on the feet in his what's it called, Contender Series debut against Edgar Chairez. I thought Lucas Rosia looked a little bit better against Davy Bittencourt. I thought his striking looked a lot more on top of the game than Clayton Carpenter, and I thought he was going to get it done. Unfortunately, he doesn't. He gets submitted under 1.5 rounds, which was like a plus 210, which is insane to me. And it's a very good win for Clayton Carpenter. He moves on to some better fights inside the flyweight division, which desperately needs a little bit of help here, seeing as they just signed the guy to fight Pantoja from Risen, literally, and he's fighting straight to the title shot. Next on the prelims, we have Cody Haden versus Dan Aretta. Exactly like I thought it was going to happen, but I did think Cody Haden was going to end up getting a finish. Cody Haden ends up piecing up Dan Aretta in a very, very tough fight for Dan Aretta, where he says he's going to humble the kid who's up and coming, and it's not his time. Turns out Dan Aretta is the one that needs a little bit of humbling. He tries to do his passionate chain wrestling that he tries to always think about at night when he's dreaming, and unfortunately his dreams didn't come true tonight. He did get completely out grappled. He landed, I think, 4 out of 22 or something takedowns. Cody Haden was very on top of his takedown defense. Very, very nice underhooks. Never let Dan Aretta get the pace. I thought he beat him all 3 rounds. He wins 30-27, I believe, on every single card. Cody Haden, very, very good boxing. Again, had Dan Aretta really hurt. Dan Aretta was gassed, ate a really big knee, was having some problems on the feet. Looked like he didn't want to be there anymore at the end of the second round, but got a little bit of a second win inside the third for like a minute, maybe. Cody Haden, man, super, super impressive. I'm really excited to see what he has at bantamweight. This dude's like really insane. I think if he works a little bit better on his takedown defense, he will be able to shuck off guys like Dan Aretta. Excuse me, and he would be able to maybe reverse positions a little bit better in order to force guys against the cage and cut them off. He did have a little bit of a problem with getting Dan cornered, but of course, it didn't really matter. 30-27 victory. Very impressive. Next in the prelims, we had an attempted robbery by Sal D'Amato. Julia Pelostri versus Corey McKenna. I thought Julia Pelostri easily won this fight 29-28. Sal D'Amato thought otherwise. He thought Corey McKenna won. I believe he's high as shit, or he's betting on these fighters because I don't see what he saw. Julia Pelostri, really, really impressive on the feet, bro. She started landing some shots and felt like Corey McKenna had nothing for her. Looked like Corey McKenna started wilting away inside the first round. Looked like she had no gas left, and it looked like Julia Pelostri was excited. It looked like she knew she had a punching bag in front of her, and she just kind of started letting the strikes go. I really thought she won this fight comfortably. I really thought Julia Pelostri showed really improved striking, especially since she only fought inside some shitty fucking leagues before. Shudo Brazil, whatever. LFA was very nice. She ended up winning the title there against Brenda Gottig. That's the Dutch woman. No, what's Argentinian? Yeah, okay. Again, Sal D'Amato tried to rob this. Thought Corey McKenna won rounds 1 and 2, which is like, you're smoking fucking crack. Corey McKenna did not win that second round in no way. She was literally wilting. Julia Pelostri, I was actually surprised she didn't finish her. She landed insane combos inside the clinch. That was like her most beneficial spot. She was just against the cage inside the clinch, landing crazy shots with the Muay Thai. Nice knees to the midsection. Corey McKenna started holding her gut. Looked like she was going to go down in a second. Didn't happen, but Julia Pelostri gets a well-deserved victory. Very very impressive. And that brings us to next on the prelims, Junior Tafa versus Sean Sharaf. I cannot believe they even let Sean Sharaf into the fucking UFC. I cannot believe they even let Junior Tafa into the UFC. But we go to a battle of attrition where Junior Tafa outlasts Sean Sharaf. Looks like Junior Tafa had his leg. He checked a leg kick inside the first round at like 4 minutes. Looked like his leg started to wobble a little bit. Junior Tafa looked like he lost completely the first round, which he did. He got taken down by Sean Sharaf and held down. And Sean Sharaf looked like he was just fat and overweight. And Junior Tafa looked like he was fat and overweight and just looked like they didn't train cardio at all. Looked like they had 5 minutes of cardio maybe in their entire life. And the 5 minutes of cardio they used inside this fight. They got to 7 minutes and 15 seconds, just like some of these guys said, that they wouldn't even get to half a round. Nope. You see the second round almost over 1.5 rounds, which is under 1.5 was a minus 310, and you see Junior Tafa have to just fucking empty completely the gas tank. He literally, after knocking out Sean Sharaf with an uppercut, which he didn't even knock him out, the ref just stopped it because it looked like Sean Sharaf was gonna have a heart attack inside the fucking cage, coming from wherever the fuck he's coming from. Where is it here? Coming from LXF. I don't even know what the fuck this is. Fight Club OC. Get out of here, bro. These are bum leagues. Junior Tafa also should not be in the UFC, but whatever. He ends up knocking him out from ref stoppage. Junior Tafa is going to get knocked out by anyone else at 240. Give him anyone else that's not a fucking can inside the heavyweight division, and he's going to eat shit. He has no grappling. He has maybe one takedown defense in him, and that's grabbing the cage because they won't call it a point right away, and he uses that to his advantage. And he won the fight because of it, because Sean Sharaf would have taken him down early, I think, beat the fuck out of him and ended it. Just like his brother got, or no, this was also Junior that got submitted by Walter Walker. Jesus Christ. Anyway, we're going to move on the prelims. I cannot believe these guys are in the UFC, whatever. But next on the prelims, we have Themba Grimbo versus Nico Price, which is very impressive. Nico Price, very well-known vet inside the cage, did not have an answer for Themba Grimbo at all, was getting pieced up on the feet inside the first round. Themba Grimbo came out looking like a world beater at 170. Starting to slow down in the second and third, but still very, very nice hands. Good Muay Thai clinch, very, very nice. Good knees. The takedowns, able to hold Nico Price on the ground. It was very impressive. Anytime that Nico Price tried to get a good position on him, Themba had an answer for it, got out of it every single time. I thought he won probably 29-28, maybe 30-27. There was a couple close moments inside some of those first rounds. But again, Themba Grimbo, really, really impressive, man. Dude, he's on a 4-fight win streak, only having lose to AJ Fletcher inside the UFC. This guy actually is improving at a really alarming rate, and at 33 years of age, you would think he would be improving this fast. He's looking really good, man, even though it's Nico Price, right? 16-8, he's only a +2 when it comes to his fight win-loss, you know, which is still fucking more impressive than me, right? He's 16-8, and only having a win over Alex Morono in the last 2 years is a little bit worrisome. Or last 3 years, I should say, is a little bit worrisome. Alex Oliveira is like not a nobody at this point. To UFC fans, they don't even know who he is. Themba Grimbo takes a really good victory over Nico Price, but it's a little, underwhelming, seeing as everyone thought Nico Price was gonna lose. But I still think, in my opinion, Themba Grimbo looked a lot more impressive, a lot more pressure oriented, looked like he really wanted to finish the fight, just couldn't get it done against a really difficult Nico Price. Even though Robbie Lawler knocked him out with fucking 4 punches, whatever. We're going to move on. Next on the prelims, Pat Sabatini versus Jonathan Pierce. I had JSP going into this fight. I had a 10-pick parlay. This is the only one that missed. Pat Sabatini ends up taking the back of JSP, and as JSP literally stands up and doesn't even fight the hands, Pat Sabatini's like, okay, and secures a rear naked choke and just sits there and it's like, okay, and then just like puts it behind his head and he's just sitting there, and then JSP taps while he's standing up because it's just brain dead. I'm not sure why JSP is not fighting the hands, why he's just standing up without working on the grip first. I'm not sure why he allowed Pat Sabatini to just take his back like that instantly when I've seen JSP in previous situations explode out of these spots in positions where he's getting dominated and he's able to move. Pat Sabatini takes his back, looked like super fucking quick, super fucking easy, and just chokes him out. I feel like it's less of JSP's bad and more of Pat Sabatini's a little bit special. Maybe I underestimated Pat Sabatini. Maybe you got to put a little bit more respect on the name. Only having been defeated by Damon Jackson and Diego Lopez, the Leech is still nasty with his hands. He's very durable as well. Diego Lopez, nasty with his hands, very powerful finisher. We all know this. JSP doesn't have that type of power. He doesn't have that finishing ability. He has knockouts, but he usually wilts guys away. He doesn't get them in the first round. And Pat Sabatini had his back inside the first 40 seconds. They were dry, and Jonathan Pierce had to deal with it the first 5 minutes. Couldn't get out of it, ended up losing. Very unfortunate. JSP probably getting cut after this. 3 losses in a row. 1 to David Onama, 1 to Jordan Sombrito, and 1 to Pat Sabatini. 2 by submission. Unfortunate for Jonathan Pierce, but a very good pickup win for Pat Sabatini. I'm excited because, especially at 145, you don't see very many grapplers other than Aljo, who just moved up, who are insane like that, who can take your back that quick. And Pat Sabatini versus Aljamain Sterling, man, I want to see something like that. Next on the prelims, we have Ramzan Tamaro versus CJ Vergara. I put a little bit of money in CJ Vergara, seeing as I didn't think he should be such a big underdog. And when he was walking out, I got instantly worried. CJ Vergara was literally like praying or something. He was completely zoned out, wasn't listening to his coaches when he was about to step in. Looked like he was genuinely scared on his face. CJ literally looked like he was fearful for his life, and I've never seen that out of him before. And Ramzan Tamarov literally butchered him. He was like, in the first minute, he probably landed 13 strikes that were like clean, like fucking strong shots. CJ Vergara didn't have an answer, man. He couldn't even get started. Looked very tentative on the feet. Looked like he didn't know what to do. Didn't look like he knew where to start. Looked like Ramzan was just willing to explode. He has that type of Cuban style where he explodes and then backs up, and he doesn't start with something and then lead into a big shot. He starts with the big shot and leads with the little shots afterwards. And CJ Vergara just didn't have an answer for it. He gets tagged, gets dropped, and gets finished by a Tamarov, who's now 18-2 inside the UFC. Just made his debut at 125 pounds, man. He's an absolute animal. I'm excited to see these guys in flyweight, though. There's some nice prospects on this card moving up. Next on the prelims, we have... that was top of the prelims. Ramzan Tamarov versus CJ Vergara. That was top of the prelims. Now we move on to the start of the main card. Daniel Rodriguez versus Alex Morono. Again, Sal D'Amato tries to steal another fucking fight, which is ridiculous to me. D-Rod won that fight, 29-28, thought comfortably, won rounds 2 and 3. Alex Morono won round 1, and almost exactly like he did to Nico Price, he gassed. He gassed inside the first round, had nothing left inside round 2 and 3. Looks like he's playing a little bit more video games than he is working on his cardio and on his stand-up. Daniel Rodriguez looked a little bit shit inside that first round, looked like he was a little bit tentative, looked like he got tagged there with a couple nice shots from Morono. Morono's moving in and out. Very nice karate stance. Very beautiful striking. I was really, really impressed. I was really shocked that Daniel Rodriguez was starting to get picked apart. Alex Morono was a 2-1 favorite leading into that second round, which I couldn't believe. I was like, oh my God, like Daniel Rodriguez is going to lose. And then D-Rod gets told in the corner, hey man, you're better than this guy. Let's pick it the fuck up. And D-Rod's like, okay. And inside the second round starts piecing up Morono inside the face, beating the shit out of him, mixing up to the legs, chopping up that calf. And then the third round beat the shit out of him. A couple nice takedown attempts for Morono. Didn't get there. Daniel Rodriguez made it a complete stand-up fight. He tagged Alex a lot, man. I'm surprised he wasn't able to get him out of there. I'm really surprised seeing as he's a 70% win rate or finish rate at 170. But gets it done, man. Really happy for him. Again, should not have been a split decision. Second fight on the evening of Sal D'Amato fucked up, where he votes against the wrong fighter who definitely did not get the win. Next on the main card, we have Grant Dawson versus Rafa Garcia, and I could not believe my eyes when I saw Grant Dawson start laying elbows on Rafa Garcia, and Rafa Garcia gives up, and Grant Dawson gets a KO stoppage, which was at plus 1,000, which I could not believe my eyes, seriously. He beat the ever-living shit out of Rafa Garcia. I thought Garcia would make it to maybe the third round. Not even close. Yeah, he just got beat the fuck up. At 30 years of age, KGD still looking impressive. Looked like the Bobby Green loss is just a fluke still. Grant Dawson looked improved more than ever. Looked like his striking was on par. Was doing spinning heel kicks. Was doing nice body kicks, nice leg kicks. Was looking better on the feet. Looked like he was doing some boxing training. Looked like he learned the lesson, man. Which is, if you're already good at something, if it's already your number one, like his wrestling, like his takedowns, Why would you not work on something else? You know you don't have to work on that anymore. You can still do a little bit of it, but why would you not make your main training focus something else that you can improve your fight style around? Grant Dawson seems to be doing that, working on his striking, looks better than ever, and at 155, he looks to be a fucking dominating contender here, especially moving up in the rankings here. He should be top 15 really soon if he's not already. I believe he should be like 10 in my opinion, especially looking at who's up there now. I mean, lightweight's actually kind of stacked, actually. Maybe he should be like 15, 14. Next on the main card, we have Chidi Njokuani versus Jared Gooden. Almost yawned there. Got out of it. Don't worry. That's the first time I haven't yawned during an entire fight breakdown. Chidi Njokuani versus Jared Gooden. I thought Chidi was going to be able to knock him out, and Jared looked like he was Chaos Williams in this fight. Looked like he did not give a fuck. Excuse me, William Knight. Is that who I'm thinking of? The guy... Yes, it would be William Knight. It looked like William Knight inside that first round literally didn't even throw a strike. Chidi just had him against the cage. Muay Thai clinch, landing big knees. Jared staring him down at the end of the round, acting like that did fucking more damage than anything he could put out during the round, which it did. Chidi looked at him and was like, fuck you, basically, and walked away. Inside the second round, big strikes from Chidi. Jared lands a couple good ones, but Chidi again uses the Muay Thai clinch and just stavers him off. And again, third round, I believe there was a takedown in there as well. In the third round, and Chidi just wins. He just wins the fight, seeing as he couldn't. Oh yeah, at the end of the third round, he got a takedown. Couldn't get anything done with it. Couldn't move to a dominant position. I tried to land the big shots. Tried to take Jared Gooden out of there, and unfortunately, did not have the cardio nor the power to take out Jared Gooden, who is a bit of a tank with his chin. He did take a lot of shots, only having getting knocked out by like some of these fucking nasty strikers. Impa Kasanganai, who was the other guy that knocked him out? I believe he got knocked out one other time, right? Where is it here? No, that's the only knockout he has? 2 TKOs in the first round. I guess that's his like first loss ever was... Oh no, Bruno Oliveira. There you go. Bruno Oliveira is also terrible. He lost to Josh Fremd. That's crazy. Chidi looked really, really good, man. Wants a fight inside the top 15. He'll probably get it, especially at welterweight. Not many guys are fighting right now, especially that are trying to move up inside the rankings. That top 15 is kind of cold and like standstill at this point. Chidi looked fucking fantastic, man. I just wish he was able to knock him out. Would have won me a little bit of extra cheddar. But good win for Chidi Njokuani. Next, we got the co-main event. If you guys did like this at all, make sure to drop a like. And if you guys aren't yet already, subscribe. I do these every single Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday for breakdowns, betting predictions, and Contender Series. I believe this is the last week for Contender Series, so you know what it is the last week for that. But hopefully I'm going to be moving on to maybe ONE FC or Bellator. Maybe doing some of those predictions and breakdowns. We had, like I said, Jungyong Park versus Brad Tavares. Bro, I don't know how this is a split decision at all. Brad Tavares takes round 1 because he takes him down with a 1-2. Drops Jungyong Park. Jungyong Park tries to get the round back. Takedown by Brad Tavares, I believe. Jungyong Park gets up, but again, loses the first round. Second and third round, I thought it was clear for Park. Big damage. Was weltering Brad Tavares away. I thought Jungyong Park was going to get a submission. Didn't get it. Got his back. Was landing big shots. Brad Tavares didn't get out of there. But rightful decision. Did go for the right guy. The Iron Turtle looked exactly like an Iron Turtle. Looked like he popped his fucking head away and then came out with an armored shell. Got tagged a couple more times inside the fight. Never went down. Never looked like he got wobbled. Brad Tavares was getting pieced up. Jungyong Park looked really good, man. At 185, he ain't going to make top 15, but he will be a gatekeeper. I don't think he has the ability right now to make it that far. Again, like his other wins by submissions were nice, but this fight against Brad Tavares, bro, the very decorated Brad Tavares who's been in the UFC since 2010, I believe. Like, bro, you got to be finishing these guys, and I feel like Jungyong Park really should have got a submission victory here, or even a knockout. He had him really hurt at one point, but again, he ends up taking the fight 2-1. I'd like to see him put a little bit more pressure on fighters early in the fight and not let them get an advantage over him early. But a really, really good win for Jungyong Park, the Iron Turtle. Next, we're going to move on to the main event of the evening, which was Brandon Raw Dog Royval versus Taira. Sal Diamato strikes again and attempts to rob another victory from another fighter who deserves it. We have Brandon Royval, who won rounds 1, 3, and 5 against Taira, who is the 24-year-old contender who was on an absolute rampage, taking out Carlos Hernandez, taking out, who's the other guys they took out? Jesus Aguilar, Edgar Chairez, Alex Perez with a takedown that was insane, CJ Vega with an armbar a couple years ago. And now he gets taken out by Brandon Royval, who gets his back taken in rounds 2 and 4. These two used to be training partners. And Brandon Royval is able to get out of the bad situations in round 2 and 4, continue the fight on the feet in rounds 1, 3, and 5. Round 1, Taira didn't get a takedown, but, you know. And win with the boxing. Superior boxing from Royval, and again, superior grappling from Taira. Very close fight. I thought it was very clear, 48-47 Royval. I cannot believe that Sal D'Amato still has a fucking job. I think he needs to be fired. I cannot believe this. I would like to personally apply for his job. I would love to be an MMA ref. I'll take whatever course is necessary to be able to get that job. I will take over Sal D'Amato's position. He does not need to be there. Whatever shit he has on you, Dana White, I will help you. I will, whatever you need. I cannot deal with this anymore. This is impoverished from this guy. He clearly bets on fights. He bets spreads or something where he needs the extra points, because this is bullshit. He should not have won that fight. Brandon Royval is a plus 250 during the fight. Ends up a plus 130 after the first round. I took some money on it, man, and I chalked up on it. Brandon Royval gets a very, very well-deserved victory over Taira, who was, again, like I said, looking like a world beater, but Brandon Royval shows better skill, shows that he's still evolving in his game, shows that he has extended cardio working inside Denver, and that he's better than some of the best contenders up and coming at this point. Prospects, I should say. That's all I have for you guys today. Again, it was a fantastic card. Very good card inside the Apex. I think some of these knockouts came because of the fact that the Apex is a smaller octagon. Again, I think we need to fire Junior Tafa and Sean Sharaf. That was just terrible. I think Sal D'Amato needs to be fired, and I cannot believe that Brandon Royval was able to take a victory over Taira. I'm very excited that he was able to do it, and I'm very happy with how this card turned out. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed. Again, I will see you guys Tuesday for the next predictions and breakdown for the next card, which is Anthony Fluffy Hernandez versus Michel Pereira, and I will talk to you all later. Peace.